Going on, guys? I'm here in my basement. Hopefully you can hear me good enough. I got this unit over here running, but hopefully it doesn't interfere too bad. I'm going to do a video since the weather's not been that great here lately. I'm going to do this. Some people have requested this actually. I'm just going to do one of the simple techniques first, and then I'll probably show you some other stuff and some other videos down the road. How I dye some discs. This is going to focus on a spin dye, and I'm going to show you how, if you get an old record player or something like that, how to set it up first, or at least how I like mine set up. It's messy. It's going to get messy. Not much needing cleaning it. Maybe just the part that you put the disc on every now and then you can clean it, but you're going to have a mess on these things. So first off, I'm going to get the camera and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right here, so you can get it set up for your dyes. So one of the first things you're going to need to do is, you see these lines right here where my finger at. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to turn your record player on, if that's what you're using. I took a silver Sharpie, and what you're doing here, you just take that Sharpie and hold it and make a line. I mean, you kind of try to get to where you think the size of a disc is. You do that. You can do a couple like I've done. You can do 3 or 4, whatever. You can make them. You do that. Reason being is going to be, it's going to help you set these discs up. And hopefully I can get this right here. I put wall tack. That's what this stuff is, that poster tack stuff. I put it down some times to keep discs from sliding around. But you get those lines, and you can see, you can tell the rim is right up to it. Look at that. Immediately centered. That disc is centered and ready to spin. And that is the reason that you do that. So I'm going to turn that on. I can nudge it just. That's pretty close. This one, I hope this does what I want it to do. I've actually got a small stencil on here, but where I'm using an acetone mix, if I go too hard on it, there's a chance that it's going to make that stencil peel right up. So I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. With this right here, this is my black. Hopefully you can see this. That's black. That's straight acetone with IDye Poly. Let me see if I can get some IDye Poly real quick. That is what I use right here. IDye Poly black. Make sure if you're getting this, it says poly. If it just says IDye, you ain't gonna dye any discs. It's just gonna wipe right off. So, as like I said, I'm gonna take my brush. I hope it don't peel that stencil up. I'm wanting that to be a marker. A mark on my disc for Batman. So what I do here is, if I'm starting this, I'm just going to try to fade in. I just put some on the brush here. And I'm just going to touch down. And I use the side of the record player to help me steady. And you gradually let it spin for a little bit. Move the brush in. Just keep on stepping that in. Like I said, this is black, so on pink, that's going to make probably a purplish look to it. That's another tip. Whenever you start dyeing, you eventually kind of start figuring out what dyes look like on certain plastics. I'll tell you this straight off, if you dye an orange disc, Most of the time it's just going to be a different shade of orange. It's going to be darker or closer to whatever the disc color was. And that's just, orange is just hard to dye. In my own experiences, you can dye black on it and you can get some greens and stuff and reds to show up. But other than that, you're not going to get a very, you're not going to get a big difference in color on an orange disc. Stepping this in. This is going to look like a MVP disc. Here you go, Josh Basinger. You can just start throwing other discs and say that they're MVP. For this video's purpose, I'm going to do a dark line, I think, around the middle. There's other techniques that you can use, I've done before, that I really like. Taking Elmer's glue and turning the record player on and letting it spin while you drip Elmer's glue down on it, and you get really cool patterns, but at the same time, like I said before, it's going to be messy. Not much control over that. I think that's all I'm going to do on that one. Now, of course, I might try to show you this here in a little bit. This is going to have to be washed. So this is what it's looking like right now. You see that symbol right there? That's my stencil. I'm going to peel off, and it's going to be this pink color here. Batman. Centering is the most important thing when you're doing a spin dye. You want it to spin as close as you can to even all the way around. And some of these are going to be different different sizes, of course. Fairways, mids, drivers are going to be different from disc to disc, so you got to be conscious of that. But they all center the same. Now there's something I'm going to attempt with this. This right here is yellow, but instead of it being acetone, I've mixed it with 70% isopropyl alcohol. I usually would prefer a little bit stronger alcohol. The reason I'm doing that is this stamp's really big, but I don't want it to go away, and I'm thinking about trying to run the yellow on the interior a little bit, and I don't want that stamp to go away. Alcohol will work as a carrier like acetone. It's not as good though. So I'm going to attempt it. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see. I've used it before. I heated this up just a few seconds in a microwave. Try to help it out. We'll see if this takes it all. Not very careful with my brushes. They all see dye at some point, so. some people are going to be having preferences of what kind of brushes they use. I use whatever I can find, honestly. I've done art my whole life. Never was much into painting, but I've always had brushes and stuff. It's just you accumulate them. So if I can't find a brush, I'll buy one or buy a pack. I'm not very picky when it comes to that side of the dyeing spectrum. So I can't tell you what brush works the best, what doesn't. I can only tell you how to dye. Here we are. That, and then I'm going to clean these, and I'll show you at the end. So I've got these things washed, everything. Just quick tip: when you wash your discs, for sure use a lot of soap if you can. Use cold water. Hot water is going to make stuff come off easier, but that's also going to make your dye probably bleed a little bit easier. Not staining the plastic is good, so the cooler you can keep it, the better for the dye. I've heard of people say, like, if it's not a thrower, that people are actually going to be using it like a dye for somebody. Every now and then they might store it in a freezer. It's kind of weird, but it keeps the dye from migrating. Think of it like a tattoo. So here's the first one. Let's get here. Put the Batman symbol. It's hard to tell exactly. We got a light coming from the back, but gives it kind of a purple look. And all I did was use black on that. Here's the D2 Max. I used blue and black on that with the stencil. And the final one. This one would be hard to tell. There's a very slight yellow tint on it. That's kind of what I was aiming for. I will say this: in the video, I had that clumping. I had to wash it and go back with acetone and dye the rim because it didn't take, because that was blocking it from being getting in contact with the disc. So besides that, it looks pretty cool though. Yeah, it's also a good disc. Yeah, it's on. Quickly, if it's a disc like this, one that I've thrown before, if you look closely, you can see like little areas like this. If you're dyeing a used disc that somebody wants you to dye on or something, as soon as dye touches it, it's going to show you all the imperfections in the plastic, like where it's hit stuff, possibly even like where it's bent or something, just weird places in the plastic. It's going to show up immediately. So that's why this one's kind of chunky looking in places. I've thrown it, so just FYI. That's all I got, really. I mean, it's a simple technique, dudes. You just need a record player, some acetone, and IDye Poly, and your golden, some brushes. But also, magic erasers get stamps off pretty good, and also will help you get dye off whenever you're in the rinsing process. But let me know what other dye techniques you want to see. I haven't done any in a little while, but I know a bunch. So if you like these dye videos, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos. I'm trying to get the channel going up. I'm going to be having a giveaway of not this FX2, but a signed FX2 from Chris Dickerson. When I can get to 250 subscribers. Right now I'm on my way to 100 to do the first giveaway I've got, which is going to be a dyed Explorer, which I'll do a video of. So check in with me, share my videos, and subscribe. Thanks. Peace.